Today, we're breaking down a couple of topics that have the internet going absolutely crazy, starting with Complex dropping their top 100 hottest rappers list, which immediately set the whole culture on fire. And listen to this, we got the game himself stepping up to share his honest thoughts on the rankings, including why he refused to pick a side in the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake situation. And as you'd expect, Game came through with that signature humor, because he's out here flipping the loyalty narrative completely on its head. He doesn't see himself as disloyal at all. He actually believes the exact opposite. And before we dive deep into all of that, hold up, because we've also got a viral snippet circulating of rapper Doja Cat apparently mocking Eminem, and the internet has some strong opinions about it. We'll get into that later. Plus, Joe Budden dropping his prediction on exactly who's gonna catch a diss on Drake's upcoming Iceman album. And real quick, before we go any further, if you're rocking with this content, smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss a drop. Now, starting with Complex's top 100 hottest rappers right now, the top 10 breaks down as J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick, NBA Youngboy, Lil Yachty, Don Toliver, Travis Scott, Jay-Z, Kanye, and Baby Keem. And you won't believe this, legends like Eminem and 50 Cent didn't even crack the top 100. Now, according to Complex, making this list requires you to have dropped a song or hopped on a feature within the last 6 months, been out there actively touring or performing, or at a minimum, be teasing new music to even be considered.
This is also strictly a solo artist list. No rap groups allowed, though group members with a strong individual lane could still qualify. And here's where it gets interesting. Somebody needs to explain to me how Jay-Z is sitting at number 8 on this list. Has he dropped new music in the last 6 months? Has he been on tour, performing, or even teasing a project? Because if I missed it, drop it in the comments right now. You won't believe the audacity of placing Jay-Z ahead of artists who've actually been in the trenches lately. So help me understand how he clears their own criteria. And in fact, this is the part that really gets me. 50 Cent objectively makes a stronger case for this list than half the people on it. He's been releasing music, nearly a dozen rappers have been invoking his name just to go viral, and he's been outstreaming Jay-Z on both Spotify and YouTube Music. But hey, let's not let the actual facts get in the way of whatever narrative Complex is pushing here. And while the fans were going to war in the comments, especially the Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole camps, all fighting over the top spot, the game came out and pretty much co-signed J. Cole holding it down at number 1.
Is the hottest rapper right now?
I mean, it just depends on how you look at it, because I personally think the hottest rapper right now is J. Cole. I just think that it's the most current. So if we're talking about right now, this is, just riding around the Honda Civic, touching people, picking up fans, and he doing the interviews right now. I don't see, the other great rappers of the last 6 months to a year, like they quiet. So it's out of him and Hov. But it's because they just got the motion right now. So we were talking about that. So I don't want nobody to get it misconstrued and like, They just people love to argue, but like right now, like Cole has got all the motion, and then Hov announcing these Yankee shows and doing the interview, which is right now, that's live right now, will probably be, Hov and Cole.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Now, some fans are actually willing to meet them halfway. Like, okay, fine. If we're strictly talking the last 6 months to a year, then yeah, J. Cole's case makes sense. But the second you zoom out even a little further back, it's Kendrick's spot. No debate, no contest. Full stop. And hold up, people are absolutely losing it over Eminem not even getting a seat at the table. No Eminem on the list, just like that. The hate defending this thing is honestly wild to watch unfold in real time. Look, based on their own stated criteria, you can sort of follow the logic of why M got left out. Keyword, sort of. But then somehow Jay-Z slides onto the list, which completely blows up every requirement they just claim to stand by. And you won't believe this, 50 Cent, who literally checked every single box they outlined, got left in the cut entirely. This thing is all over the place. And honestly, that's just classic Complex behavior at this point. This is the same outlet that boldly claimed Eminem's hits didn't age well, and then watched Curtain Call go diamond shortly after.
On top of that, Game jumped in and expanded on exactly where Drake stands in hip-hop, and why a specific narrative people keep pushing about him is completely off base.
After being in the game for over 20 years, I think I've earned the right to give you my truth and really make you question yours.
100%. So you were correct. Cole is the hottest rapper out right now. But then our number 2 spot is Drake. Are you aligned with that selection?
Nah, because there's a world where Drake is, people want him to be a rapper, then some people say he's not a rapper, but I think he has one of those names that is like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. So it's like, it's one of those things. Yeah. It's like Drake is Drake, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think in any world he's not at number 1. So we'd have to do a right now thing. And because we all waiting on Iceman to see what he does next, he could fall at number 2, but it's just a waiting process. Now, if he comes out with Iceman and we like, what the fuck is this? Then I don't know. You might slip down to number 3. But I think as far as like being one of the greatest ever, like you got to give him everything that he deserves. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm not going to bite my tongue for nobody. That's definitely my little brother. And I feel out of everybody in hip hop, I think that him and Wayne are like the 2 guys that I'm the tightest with. These are guys that I talk to, you know, on a weekly basis. People thought that I was going to, you know, change my opinion of how I felt about Drake because he was at war with Kendrick. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And although, you know, I had a hand in Dot's upbringing, you know, and not, but I don't talk to Dot all the time. You know what I'm saying? I talk to Drake bi-week. You're not from LA, are you?
Nah, not from Jersey.
Right. So you on the west side, just in case you forgot.
Okay.
No, but what I'm saying is we had this thing, right? Like when the whole thing popped off, everybody was like, you're supposed to be with the west side. And I was like, we are the most segregated culture in hip hop. Y'all want to say we supposed to be so west side, but before you drive by the ops hood with your window down and yell out, where y'all from, cuz? Is it about the west side end?
Or is it about where?
Is it about your section or how you feel in that moment?
Yeah.
Right? So don't tell me that I gotta ride for something that I've been riding for 20 plus years and then get off the phone and then go out there and beef with your enemies. But I thought it was west side. I thought we supposed to all ride for the west side. So yeah, y'all ain't doing that. So let me do me on my type of time, and I'm gonna let you know how you should walk accordingly when you have camaraderies or real friendship. Like my whole beef with 50 was about me being friends with Nas, Jada, and Fat Joe. I just couldn't understand how to turn my back on something. I'm cool with that. People say I'm unloyal. Right? All the time. I see, oh, you unloyal, you this, you that. Nah, man, I'm just not taking no shit.
Now, some J. Cole fans have jumped in and started adding serious context to what might really be going on behind the scenes here. And this part is important. Joe Biden apparently extended an invite to J. Cole for an interview, and Cole straight up ignored it, all while that podcast was delivering one of the most painful moderation performances in broadcast history. So naturally, some people believe Biden flipped on Cole specifically because Cole refused to show up and give him that platform moment. And honestly, I can see it too. The way the logic goes, somebody from the big 3 is about to get their head knocked clean off just to settle the score. And it sure isn't going to be the one who already got his knocked off first. The thinking is that Cole gets targeted because people assume he won't fire back anyway. And if it does happen, it won't be loud or direct. But trust me, everybody's going to know exactly what it means. So let me ask you, do you actually see J. Cole or Kendrick catching a diss on Iceman? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is just getting started. But while all of that was unfolding, a completely different moment went viral and started sparking some wild reactions. Doja Cat decided to do her little impression of how Eminem sounds when he raps, and hold up, the internet was absolutely not ready for what came next. But before we even get into those reactions, let me remind you all of something crucial. Doja Cat is basically the living, breathing mascot of quirky Chungus energy.
That is her whole brand, her whole thing, her entire personality packaged into content. Her fans eat it up, but personally, I find it painfully cringe every single time. To be fair though, I genuinely don't think she means any of it seriously. But some users are not extending that same grace whatsoever. This is the same bald-headed, self-proclaimed, quirky wannabe Satanist who once claimed she either has a demon inside her or is the demon. I honestly can't even remember which one at this point. Okay, sure, totally normal stuff. Look, what she's doing here is basically what Eminem probably sounds like to somebody who has never once tried to actually understand the depth behind his lyrics. Yeah, M has his goofy records, nobody's denying that. But using those as ammunition for jokes is the lowest hanging fruit you could possibly grab. And boy, did that whole thing escalate at warp speed. I mean, it really just got completely out of hand in about 30 seconds flat. On the flip side, though, a good portion of people think everyone is reading way too far into a random clip taken wildly out of context. The argument being she's clearly just goofing around with zero actual intent behind it. And you won't believe this. Some people are even making the case that Eminem is genuinely one of her biggest artistic inspirations. What makes it even more layered is that she apparently has a whole history of joking around this exact same way, which some fans have still chosen to frame as actual shots being fired. After previously taking jabs at multiple artists who barely even flinched in response,